cold as a razor blade.
Back for another episode of the Snake Pit, but again, we've got to call an audible this week. Our man Jake is back on the road with LFI there in AEW. Those guys are doing a lot of work, and Jake is keeping very busy between that and his personal appearances. Of course, we understand that. So what we're going to do today is take a look back into the archives for a double episode. We're going to take this two-part episode about Jake's time in AEW when he first arrived in the company, starting out with his little confrontation with Cody, moving all the way on to Double or Nothing 2020 4 years ago. And we're going to talk about all of it here today. It's a really fun compilation episode talking about a really cool time in Jake's career when he was back on a big stage in professional wrestling, which is exactly where a guy like Jake the Snake Roberts belongs. We'll be back next week with a new episode, so please join us then. And in the meantime, enjoy this compilation episode. We'll see you next time on The Snake Pit. Let me tell you, this week, we've got a pretty fun subject. We are looking back. Ordinarily, we look back 30 years, 25 years, something like that. Not this week, my friend. This week, we're looking back just 3 years to your arrival in AEW and the build to Double or Nothing 2020. So full disclosure with everybody, the original plan here was to just discuss the build and the match today and kind of be done with it. But I found so much information when I was doing the research that we've got to break this one into 2 episodes, man, especially if we want to tell the full story. So you ready to jump in?
Let's do this.
I'm psyched, man. Here we go. All right. 2019, and you made an appearance in a vignette for the Women's Casino Battle Royal for All Out, and it kind of got fans buzzing. And there's a good reason why. You were dealing performers in, so to speak. And I've got a quick clip of you with the daughter of one of your old peers, and that is Teal Piper. Here we go.
This feels like a good one. Trust me.
I bet they're all out of answers. But where I come from, we're taught to change the questions. It's time to pay the piper.
So cool little throwback from both of you. You're saying, trust me. She's referencing her dad with changing the questions. Jake, what do you remember about that entire thing? How that all came together?
It was so fucking easy, man. I find this stuff so easy and entertaining, to do. They brought me in to Dallas's studio. It was already set up.
Mm-hmm.
I dressed up a little bit, and we sit down and did it, man. I couldn't believe they were going to let me smoke inside the studio.
So that was actually going to be my next question is, Dallas, I know that he's living clean. Here you are in his studio smoking. What do you have to say about it?
He's the one that okayed it.
Hey man, it's showbiz.
It's all about the look, it's all about what they wanted. They wanted a nasty card dealer. So how else can you make him nasty other than stick a cigarette in his mouth?
I'll tell you, it was cooler than the other side of the pillow, as the saying goes, seeing you in that setting with like kind of the James Bond music. Man, just a match made in heaven. Was Teal Piper there as well, or was that taped later?
That was taped later.
Oh, okay. Have you ever been around her?
No, I haven't.
She's a cool young lady, certainly a rising star, and man, just interesting to see, even though it wasn't in person, interesting to see you two together after the history you've got with her dad. So
is she still with AEW?
No, so I think that was kind of like a one-off appearance. Now she's doing the indies, keeping busy as hell, and man, she's a star on the rise. I don't think it's going to be long before AEW or WWE scoops her up because she's got it.
That's awesome, bro. That's great to hear.
So what was the original conversation like to bring you in for this vignette?
It's very simple. Dallas says, "Hey man, I think they want you to do a vignette." I'm like, okay. Sign me up, pay me.
Easy as that. Now, at this point, did you have any communication with Tony Khan, or was it all through Dallas?
No, all through Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, and that was actually the next question. As we know, DDP is close with Cody, so he influenced this entire thing.
Yeah, he did.
That's cool. And so at this point, there was no discussion whatsoever of bringing you in on a more
No,
regular
no,
basis.
not at all.
When would that conversation have happened? Was that in 2020?
Yes.
Okay. And that time around, is it Tony Khan on the horn giving you a call, or
No, it's
who
Cody
reached out?
Rhodes.
Cody does.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. How did the conversation go?
They told me that they wanted to put me with Lance
All right.
and asked me if I knew him. I said, no, don't know him. Don't know him from shit. You know. So they said, well, we want to do these vignettes. And of course, we did the one that really stuck out, which was filmed at Darby Allin's house, and with the ring out in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And that's awesome stuff there. I hope you got a clip of that.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact.
Oh, look at me.
We will be watching that one back.
I'm calling the shots.
Before we get that, you are kind of calling the shots here. I think we're getting to know each other so well. You know exactly what tricks are up my sleeve.
Yeah.
So when would you have first talked to Tony Khan?
Oh gosh, I believe it was at my first appearance.
Oh, okay. So the day that you showed up and had that promo with Cody
Right.
in person.
Right.
Okay. And what were your early interactions with him like?
Oh, they were awesome, man. I love talking to Tony. He's such a knowledgeable guy. Knows so much about wrestling. He knows more about me than I do. That's true, man. That's so true. He can hit you with dates and stuff on me. I'm like, holy shit.
That's pretty remarkable, and I've heard that about him, where somebody will bring up, like, I think it was Tony Schiavone was talking about that old wrestler PN News, the rapper, and Tony Khan just started spouting off his rap lyrics like he had them all memorized.
Oh my God,
an incredible memory on this guy. Now, were there any specific moments that he brought up to you when you talked to him?
No.
Is it just kind of covering the entirety of the career?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, look, all of the circumstances come together. It's the perfect guy at the perfect time, as we say here sometimes. And we've got your big debut. So this is from the March 9th, 2020 Observer. Jake Roberts, 64, showed up as a new heel manager to lead people against Cody. I would presume his guy that he teased would be either Lance Archer or Brody Lee. Archer was scheduled to debut on the show on 3-4 in Denver, but wasn't there, and nothing was said. So I could think that if they just came up with the idea of using Roberts, it would make more sense to introduce Roberts first and build intrigue. So, Jake, big audience, national television, and suddenly here you are. You're standing across the ring from one of the hottest baby faces in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
We're about to watch the clip, but before we get there, I want to know, when you're walking out there and you see all these people, national television, any nerves, or is it like riding a bike?
No, man, it's like riding a bike. I was just enjoying the rush, from the pop that I got. The pop was deafening, it really, really was. And made me feel pretty goddamn special, to tell you the truth, man. I appreciate the fans so much for giving me that.
Yeah, it's, I've heard guys say, and I want to say it was Scott Hall actually said it at one point, like, kind of the biggest fear is, the fans just sort of forgetting about you and not caring and all that stuff. And man, if you had any of those fears going in, they were immediately erased with that.
Yeah, no shit.
We'll see it here in a minute. You can see the expressions on people's faces as you're coming out. People are just blown away that Jake the Snake Roberts is strolling in. Talk to me a little bit about getting the TV on that day. What was it like showing up there?
It was odd, I had not been around any of the guys there, and they were all new faces to me, and it was very strange. And getting there at the building at 1:00 in the afternoon, then it not happening till 7 that night, gave me a long time to sweat it if I was going to, and I didn't. I didn't sweat it at all.
Now, what do you think that is? It's just experience, where look, I've been here, done that, zero nerves.
Just experience. That's all.
That's incredible, man. Even after all those years, it's how long had it been since you had been kind of in a full-time capacity?
Jesus Christ.
A while.
Yeah, 25 years, 97.
So, all that time, and then it's like, yeah, I'm just right back in it. No problem.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Remarkable, man. Well, you find yourself in a locker room with a bunch of young talents that grew up watching you, and It was during a time when you're one of the biggest stars in the business, and these guys are kids.
Yeah.
And are a lot of them approaching you to shake your hand or get photos?
No, man, they were just like, you know, and after I did the interview, then there were a few pictures taken.
That's cool, man. Recently on Twitter, there was kind of a buzz going around because Sean Waltman took issue with this wrestler that was saying it was unprofessional for indie wrestlers to ask stars who came into their promotions for photos backstage. And Sean
Yeah.
Waltman was like, I've always been flattered anytime somebody wants to get a photo with me. So indie
Yeah,
wrestlers, if you want a photo, just ask and I will do it.
absolutely.
I was going to say, is that how you feel about it too?
Fuck yeah, man. Are you kidding me? That's silly to even say that.
Right. That was kind of my impression is like, man, it's got to feel great when some of these younger guys come up to you and want a
Fuck
photo
yeah.
or an autograph.
Absolutely, man. Why not?
Well, Cody Rhodes is now one of the biggest stars in wrestling, of course, with WWE. Did you see the potential for him at this stage
Oh
to
yeah,
be a
obvious.
major
Yeah,
star?
I've been watching Cody for some time. Even before he left WWE, his ability to run and gun with whatever they gave him, and they gave him some tough stuff to do.
Whew, man,
His Stardust thing was pretty wild.
brutal. And not to mention he had a thing that was just based around him having a mustache at one point.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, the mustache.
It's like,
It's more like a caterpillar.
are we really running out of gimmicks to that degree that we just have
Yeah.
to have a guy with a mustache? Just wild.
Yeah, that's reaching.
Now, you were pretty close with Dusty, right?
Oh yeah.
So, pretty surreal to find yourself in the ring with his son all these years later?
Well, I'd wrestled Dustin, so no, it didn't bother me at all, man.
That's true. You'd already been around his son. What were you ever around Cody, when he was
No,
younger?
no, it wasn't.
Never.
I'd never seen him before.
Oh, okay, so not even WWE did you guys cross paths when you were there in,
No,
like, 2014 or the Hall of Fame
no,
or whatever?
nope.
So Meltzer referenced it at the time, and I was convinced that you'd be managing Brody Lee. So it was Lance from the very beginning. They never even mentioned Brody.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Now the Dark Order thing was kind of going, and everybody was trying to figure out who the Exalted One was. And I know that your name was getting brought up a lot just because of that image of you taking off a cloak or whatever. I'm sure fans would have lost their damn minds. Are you satisfied with how things turned out, or do you think you could have had some legs in the Dark Order?
I could have done anything they wanted.
Mhm.
That's just who I am. It would have been great doing the Dark Order thing, man. But I'm satisfied with doing Lance, man. I love Lance to death. He's a great, great, great piece of talent. He has so much to offer. He's untapped. Untapped.
No doubt about that. Lance Archer, God, irreplaceable look, great talent, great mic skills. He's kind of got the full package. I think all he needs is a little bit more exposure, and man, he could be skyrocketing.
All he needs is a button, man.
That's it.
They
Well,
push
look,
that button and he's there.
Jake, we couldn't do this without watching the clip of your debut promo. The internet went absolutely nuts after this, and it's easy to see why. It's March 5th, 2020, and you've got a quote here that's become wrestling legend.
What the hell? Jake Roberts. Everybody standing.
This is unbelievable.
This is not an illusion. Wow.
Completely shocked Cody. Do you see that reaction on his face?
You got a Hall of Fame guy whose reputation precedes him just walking out unannounced.
One of the most dangerous, one of the most devious individuals ever to step inside the squared circle.
Getting the scent.
Maybe the most devious.
I hate to spoil the party, but damn, man, I got tired of listening to you cry and bitch. I never cried over one match in my career. And you're gonna let that little punk son of a bitch get you down to crying? He whipped you like a dog. Don't you understand you got your ass kicked? He handed it right to you. But that's not why I'm here. Oh, I know. Hail, mighty Caesar. I'm not here to praise you. I'm here to slay you. The only reason I'm here is I have a client. The dark side will be coming to AEW. And once our roots have taken hold, it'll be like this, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, soaring to the sun. It's been 20 years for me, Cody. 20 years to get clean, to get right. And by God, I earned it. And if you think for 1 minute that I'm going to be a nice boy and play right, my man, you got another thing coming. You see, for years, I used to put a snake in a bag just to make somebody think about it. And once you thought about that snake, I had you in the palm of my hand, and I wind up spanking your ass. That's what happens. I will be on the outside of the ring when my client faces you. And you can bring that one-trick pony Arn Anderson with you. My God. Hey. Caesar. Oh, Caesar. What a snake wants, a snake takes. You see, I'm not in AEW to take the whole pie. Just your share. Now, a wise man once told me, never, ever turn your back on somebody you respect or you're afraid of.
Wow.
Wow, was right. Jake, I was grinning ear to ear that whole time, just like I was the first time I saw that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And by the way, we have a shirt of that quote that you said there at the end from Jake, available at boxinggimmicks.com right now. So if you love that promo as much as I did, go grab a shirt to commemorate it, support this podcast.
Oh, shit, I want one of those.
See, we got to get you one of those shirts because, man,
Damn
that
straight.
quote is badass. Jake,
It is, man.
what was it like walking back through the curtain after that?
Oh, my God, man. I was so happy, so proud. I had tears in my eyes, man, because I nailed that son of a bitch.
Oh, man, it's a ton of underrated lines in there. Like, I don't want the
Yeah.
whole pie, just your piece. Just, man, unbelievable. Now the reactions from people backstage, Tony Khan, etc. What's everybody saying?
Oh, they're blown away. They're blown away.
Easy to see why Tony's got you earmarked as somebody who can help other people learn with
Yeah.
promos and the training.
Absolutely.
Because God Almighty, no matter how many years go by, every time you touch the mic, it is absolute magic.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate to have learned and picked up things along the way, but and God Almighty for giving me a brain that still remembers something.
Now, was that all off the cuff stuff that you thought
Yeah.
of?
Yeah, all off the cuff.
Incredible.
Just went out there and did it.
On it, like, and I want our listeners to think about that for a second. Quite a few iconic little quotes and moments, quotable things that he said in there, stuff that could go on a T-shirt, and it's off the cuff.
Yeah.
Look, if there's somebody else that can do that nowadays, I point them out. I want to see
I
them.
don't know.
So Jake, you had mentioned you had not really seen any of Lance Archer's work in the past as Lance Hoyt,
No.
right?
Right.
Okay.
No.
Now, first time you meet him, what's your first impression?
Jesus Christ, what a beast. What a fucking beast, man. I mean, my God. Oh, if I'd been his size, I would have been world champion.
Man, the size, the look, strength, just kind of as we mentioned, is he's got kind
total
of all the
package.
pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
From the get-go, were you like, okay, I can help him tweak this or that, or do
Yeah.
you just think you can? What did you think you could help him tweak?
His interviews.
Okay.
Yeah. We've worked on them together, and he's a great student. He picks up quick too. Picks it up real quick.
Well, I said here a few minutes ago that he's he's got it all, including promos, and it shows that you worked with him. Like you could see him.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, but it was all him.
Well, I think he
him.
always had the skill. He just needed somebody to help him unlock it.
Well, I think he'd spent so much time in Japan, he's never gotten the opportunity to work on his mic skills, Think about it.
Yeah.
You do independence, you're not really learning a whole lot there. You're hopping from here to here to here, and every now and then they give you a mic and want you to blurt out something, but it's different if you're working for a company. You gotta make it work long term. So
Right.
you plant seeds along the way that you can always go back to.
Man, you're going to be on American TV. Yep, you better have some polished mic work, and he's there. He's getting there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Jake, COVID hits just a couple weeks after your debut, and the world just comes to a screeching halt. AEW hammers on, but what was your initial thought? Like, holy shit, I just got back, and now it's gonna shut down.
I thought the rug was going to be jerked out from under me, man. I thought, what a fucking rib this is. Just got back, and then this shit hits, and they're talking about nobody doing nothing.
Oh.
And I got to give it to Tony Khan for just pushing on,
Incredible, innovative. It kind of forced everybody in entertainment to find new ways to innovate, and Tony Khan rose to the occasion. Now, when you're getting called in and you're hearing about all these, it's like it tends to affect folks from your generation really negatively. Any fear on your side when it comes to traveling, being around people?
No, man. I mean, if you get it, you get it, man. That's the way I kind of felt about it. I mean, Christ, I've been on the road for all my life, man. And it's not the first time I faced something that everybody else was getting. And sure, there was extra concern for me because I have lung issues anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to do the right thing, but it didn't matter. I wound up getting it 3 times.
3 times. My goodness.
Yeah.
Now, was it worse every time or just really bad the first time?
No, it was really bad the first time. The second time, it wasn't so bad. The third time, I barely knew it.
Well, that's good. I mean, I guess your body's stronger, building up immunity to it, but like
You must.
A low key part for people to think about here is that there's constantly fans wanting to come up and put their arm around you, shake your hand, getting in your personal space very often. And man, that's
in airplanes, man.
Airplanes,
man. I was going to airports that were like ghost towns. I mean, you go into the Atlanta airport and you see less than 100 people when you walk in the concourse. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nuts.
That's one gate normally. And you walk the whole concourse and not see 100 people.
Just wild. Such unprecedented times. Man, it's incredible that everybody was able to push through and continue working. And, while the world kind of stopped and slowed down, you guys were giving us some entertainment, and it was awesome. Speaking of that, working without a crowd, Jake, what was that like for you?
Oh, man. That's the hardest thing an athlete can do is work without a crowd, because you don't get to steal that energy. You don't get that. You don't get the kick from it, Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think a lot of the guys that went out there and pushed through it, for a while, Tony was bringing in extras just to sit in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, I'd go out and sit in the audience a lot, man, just to try to give those guys something to work to.
Right. I remember seeing you out there, like the Gun Boys would be out there kind of cheering
Yeah.
everybody on. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, man, you got to do what you got to do and get people reacting. And, it's because part of even the home audiences they're watching, part of getting excited is seeing all the other fans on TV get excited. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, man,
Absolutely.
what a low key important aspect of it. Also, like you have mentioned before, Jake, that you go out there and you're cutting a promo and sometimes you'll change it or alter what you're doing based on crowd reaction, and now you just don't have it.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Nothing there, man. So it's kind of like, holy shit. You're in the classroom in front of a teacher and there's nobody else there.
Okay, guys, the Emirates NBA Cup is here. You can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. We're talking about all 30 teams split into 6 groups every Tuesday and Friday, playing for the right to advance in the single elimination in-season tournament, culminating in the NBA Cup Championship in Vegas. Is this your first time getting in on the action? Well, here's something special just for you, pal. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SNAKEPIT. That's code SNAKEPIT, SNAKEPIT for new customers, and you're going to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball. God, just so strange, but you guys continue to build this thing and get fans really excited about it despite that. After a promo with you, Lance, and Shivani, we're treated to a fun vignette that we referenced a little bit earlier, and it shows us just what a badass Archer truly is. Here's our next clip.
Shit.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, to the Murdoch Mansion. Who is here is able to accept the challenge? He accepts all shapes and sizes. Who is ready to try or die? Try or die! Try or die! Try or die! Try or die! Try or die!
Well, certainly a mistake by that last dude. He just fucked
That's
up
what
a
happens
funny
when
guy.
that's what happens when you're a friend of Darby Allin.
So yeah, you referenced it. That's Darby Allin's property.
Yeah, man. Yeah, sure was.
That's really cool. Well, look, Jake, it's immediately I was reminded of something whenever I saw that whole thing. We had the chanting, we had kind of this motley crew of guys out there. It reminded me a lot of that Halloween Havoc 1992 commercial with you and Sting, right?
Yeah, it does kind of give that to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
chanting and whatnot. And I know that Tony
Yeah.
Khan is this huge fan of early 90s WCW.
Yeah.
Was Tony Khan there for the filming?
No, he sure wasn't. Sure wasn't.
Oh, okay. Do you remember who would have been producing that? Kevin Sullivan? Not the
No,
devil.
no. I don't remember who was doing it, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, just fantastic stuff. I mean, if you want to make a monster, Lance Archer looked like a fucking savage there. So
Yeah, all those guys don't live there with Darby, but they damn sure died there.
anything else that you remember about that day or filming?
No, man, just so impressed with Lance. Just so impressed. Christ.
He's
What a
such a
fucking
beast.
beast. Oh my God.
All right, well, you and Lance continue to try and get Cody's attention, and due to COVID, it seems like the pre-tapes are kind of increasing a little bit as we try to get less
Yeah.
people traveling and whatnot. And I'm not mad at it. Neither was the audience, because our final clip this week is a pre-tape that is absolutely tremendous. Well, that'll give you goosebumps.
You know, I hate to admit it, I don't even remember doing that.
You really don't?
I really don't.
Wow. Well,
But I do love the line Bill's Monica.
Dude, just tremendous. The fire.
That sucks. No, she did.
I mean, the fire, the gloomy nature. You hit the trust
yeah.
me at the end. I
Yeah.
mean, it just doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Oh man, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Fantastic. And the next year we would see Arn Anderson burning some stuff at a fire at Cody's house. You said you don't remember it. You don't remember if this was filmed at Cody's house, or where would this have been?
No, I don't know where it was filmed.
No idea. Well, that's okay.
Cody's house.
Well, I mentioned him just now, and you did in the promo. Arn Anderson, much like you, great in the managerial role there in AEW. He was in Mid-South, I think, is the same time as you, working as Marty Lundy.
Yeah.
Then you were around him in 88 when he came to the WWF, again in 92 in WCW. Did you really talk much or spend much time around him?
Not really, man. Just never around him that much.
Yeah, and I mean, like, in a professional setting, it's not like you're walking up to him and trying to make a new buddy or whatever. You're just there to do the job, and that's that.
I was around him a short time in Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Oh.
When we gave him his name, Arn Anderson.
You were part of giving him his name.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It was just the thing to do. It was the right spot with
Ole.
With Ole being there and everything. I've been around Ole for years. That right there will make you tough.
Not always a good thing to be around Ole.
Oh, fuck no.
Well, I mean, you guys hit the nail on the head. He looks like, and I thought they were shoot cousins or brothers or whatever.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah,
He's
they
got that
look
look.
related. No doubt. Wears it well. So does his son now. So how about in 2020? And now you guys work there together now. Do you guys spend much time around each other?
Yeah. We hang out a little bit, talk a little bit.
That's cool, because I know you both personally, and you both have like very similar thoughts on wrestling in general, psychology, stuff like that. So cool to hear that you guys are connecting even all these years later.
Absolutely. He's a pleasure to be around.
Man, and what a match made in heaven is you guys on opposing sides of this whole thing.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're going to talk about Arn on the next edition, but we'll hammer on a little further here now. The TNT title tournament begins on the 4/8 TV show. Did you know right away that Cody and Archer were going to be headed to Double or Nothing, or was that like a build?
Yeah. Build into it.
Now, at the time, how are you adjusting to being back in the swing of things in locker rooms? Some of these
Oh,
young
it was easy, man. Are you kidding, man? I was like fish out of water, you know. I finally made it back to the water, and I'm just swimming along, man. And it was easy as pie.
Now, it's a little different setting than the last time you were hanging around locker rooms, I imagine, with all these young guys around.
Yeah.
How would you say that the locker room has changed since the 80s or
Oh,
90s?
Jesus. It's completely different. It is completely different, man. Guys don't talk the way they used to. They don't help each other out the way they used to. That's the one thing I think that guys could really use is just kick back 5 or 6 of them and just toss it around back and forth, and let's see what comes out of this. You should be able to get a lot of information out of that.
Right. It's I always hear people say like you do a lot of learning in the car in the locker room,
Yeah,
talking to people after
absolutely.
the
The
match.
cars.
And now it's like a lot of these guys have their own like buses and stuff like that. Some of
Yeah,
them travel
Jesus
solo.
Christ.
How in the world are you going to learn from the other guys?
You're not, man. Everybody keeps to themselves now, very hush hush. They don't talk about their issues or nothing, man. How do you learn if you don't talk about your problems or your shortcomings?
That's it too. Now, I do want to ask, like Lance is a younger guy, but he was still wrestling in like the early 2000s and whatnot,
Yeah.
establishing himself. So he's been in the business for a while.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
are you spending a lot of your time with him when you get to TV?
Not too much. Not too much. When we need to do something, we do something. But we sit and talk for time. Sometimes we go have a meal together. But no, man, we're just doing our own thing.
Lance, would you consider him a close friend at this point?
Yes, definitely.
Good. He's a great guy. And by the way,
Yeah, absolutely.
he expressed some interest on your social media of coming on this show. So it's something we gotta maybe see if we can make happen. I think it'd be fun to have him on.
Absolutely. Good idea.
Who are you hanging around whenever you get to TV? You mentioned Arn. Anybody else that's kind of your buddy?
No, I just kind of slide around. Just do my thing, man.
That's cool, dude. Couple more questions and we're out for this week. So you mentioned before, sometimes younger talents aren't necessarily interested in picking the brains of veteran talents. Does Lance come to you a lot, seek your input?
He'll throw things up. We'll talk about them, but nothing specifically.
Okay. And I'm curious, Jake, when you were young, were you going up to veterans in the locker room asking for advice?
Not too much.
I was gonna say, it seems like that era of dudes like would not have liked that, would not have wanted you to come bug them, right?
No, we kind of learned everything in the cars.
Yeah, it's I find the whole thing very odd as far as like how you approach people and the right time to approach people and whatnot.
Right.
You consider yourself pretty approachable though with these young
Oh,
talents.
definitely.
Yeah, you want them to come up and talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, guys, let's take a quick break to talk about our new sponsor, Tecovas. We all have something that we like to wear that we know we look good in every single time we put it on, right? Well, for me, it's going to be my newest addition to my wardrobe, and that's the Tecovas boots I've been rocking all around the Pittsburgh area. You can call me Urban Cowboy Pal because I'm walking around Pittsburgh in these things, and they look and feel absolutely amazing. You can't have a good time in bad boots. That's why you need Tecovas like I've got and like Jake has. You know that if Jake the Snake Roberts is rocking these boots, they're good because Jake was no stranger to wearing the cowboy boots back in the day, and he still wears them. He swears by these Tecovas, and you will too. Tecovas crafts quality Western boots for everyone, from generational ranchers and lifelong cowboys to first-time boot buyers like me. They were born in Texas in 2015, and Tecovas makes it easy for anyone to find their perfect boot. Every one of Tecovas boots are handcrafted with over 200 meticulous steps for broken-in comfort right out of the box. So whether you're looking at a long day or a big night out on the town, your Tecovas are built to last and to impress. Guys, I've gotten so many compliments since starting to walk around wearing these. People in Pittsburgh are stopping what they're doing, asking me where I got them, and I'm hooking them up. You guys have heard of Esquire magazine, right? They love them, and they say there's a reason we keep coming back to Tecovas. There's really something to be said for a piece of clothing, accessory, footwear that makes you feel confident, makes you feel good about yourself, and that's what these Tecovas are like. Not only do they make me a little bit taller, but they just look good. And seriously, I can't tell you how many people are stopping me and commenting on these boots, asking where they can get them, asking who made them, and the answer is Tecovas. If you're wondering whether or not you can pull off a pair of boots, the answer is yes. It all comes down to great quality and great style, and Tecovas has both. And guess what? If for whatever reason you don't like them, they've got the best in the West guarantee, which means you get free returns and exchanges for 30 days. There is no risk to trying out Tecovas. These things just feel right on your feet, right out of the box, and every stitch is on point. Tecovas boots are made for a good time and for a long time. They're durable, they're stylish, and they're something that I know you are going to love adding to your closet. And hey, look, if you get the chance to go in person to a Tecovas store to try on these boots, you've got to go because they have complimentary drinks and hospitality. Come on now, that's pure Texas charm. There's no risk with that best in the West guarantee. Come on, it's time. Make the jump. Give them a try. Right now, you can get 10% off at tecovas.com/snakepit when you sign up for email and texts. That's 10% off at tecovas.com/snakepit. One last time, that's tecovas.com/snakepit. See the site for details. Tecovas, point your toes west. Last week we left off on our discussion about the Build to Double or Nothing 2020. Man, cool to see you back on a huge stage in professional wrestling with a mic in your hand.
Oh yeah, mic in my hand and about to do the nasty thing, crawling all over Dustin's not Dustin.
Cody's wife, Brandy.
Crawling all over Cody's wife, man. Had to be very careful not to touch her. These days you have to be so politically correct. You have to be all over like, don't contact, no contact. What do you think I'm going to do? Drop my dick in it? Give me a break. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, man.
So wait a minute. Who is telling you no contact?
Everybody.
Okay, so that was just unanimous. Do not touch.
Yeah, do not make any contact. You're getting on top of her like that. Don't do anything.
So it's starting to come together. It's a woman in like a prone position in the middle of the ring, and a man on top of her.
Yes, they didn't want that picture.
That is smart. It's weird that you would have to go through that, but smart on their part, I guess, because, man, with cancel culture nowadays, you cannot be too careful.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have rang some bells and buzzers and phones would have lit up. It wouldn't have been good news.
No, especially when you're just starting back here. So it's of note here, by the way, I wanted to mention that everybody is putting you over as still being one of the best promos in wrestling. So I use the Observer for our research here. Meltzer's singing your praises. Cornette had nice things to say on his podcast. The internet wrestling community, every single time you pick up the mic, the internet wrestling community would go nuts and say, you still got it. He's incredible. I want to ask, do you feel like you were doing some of the best mic work of your career at this time?
I don't know. I think I'm doing the best I can with what I'm supposed to be doing out there. After all, it's not supposed to be about me. It's supposed to be about Lance. So I have to kind of reel it in a little bit there, and I don't want to overshadow him or even come close. So I try to kind of tone it down a little bit, but the juice comes out when it comes out, man. I can't do anything about that. I know this, if I wanted to crank some up, I could crank some up and fire some serious shit at any time. I've got it. I've still got it, and it's ready to go, man.
Well, and that's what's interesting about what you just said, where you're like, yeah, I'm kind of pulling back a little bit so I can, let Lance shine. It's like, dude, if that's you pulling back, I would love to see you with both barrels on TV. Come on.
I have learned so much in the last 15, 20 years. That I've stockpiled so much, and life is a learning process. Believe it or not, I still learn every time I pick up a mic. I learned something. I learned something. Sometimes it's not even something I can point out, but I can feel it. I can feel it in my brain, and I can feel it in my soul. Okay, turn left here. Oh, a little bit right. Now drill it. And I don't know why I said that.
That was
Shit just
perfectly
comes
said.
out, man.
Well, here's what else I find interesting is like, these are not in large part the same fans that you were cutting promos to
No.
in the 80s or 90s.
No,
A lot of them are,
absolutely
yeah, a lot of them are people, much younger, people that weren't even alive in some cases when that
Yeah.
was happening. So, do you feel a difference when you're in front of an audience, or audience is the same whether it's 80s, 90s, or today?
They are a little bit different. They are.
Okay.
Life has changed. People have changed too, all over. And your fan base has changed. It's not the same as it was in the 80s. It's just not. They're younger now.
And what do you think about the fans kind of taking over shows nowadays, where they start their chants and sort of overrun matches at times?
I'd love for them to try that shit with me. Because
What would happen?
I'd just sit down in the middle of the ring and look at them. Shut the fuck up. I'd bore them to death. When they'd shut up, I'd get back up and start back with it. That's exactly how you handle that. Grab a hold.
Incredible.
Grab a hold and sit down. They'll stop all that bullshit.
Incredible.
Be damned if I'm going to let somebody that's sitting in a seat out there jerk my string and make me get up and do something. Ain't going to happen. I didn't buy a ticket. They did. And it's not my place to be jerked on a string and tossed around, because then you're not wrestling. You're just crowd pleasing. And that's not what I'm into.
I really hope some modern day talents are listening to this, because I would love to see one of them just grab a hold and lay down in the ring with their opponent and let them talk themselves out.
Yeah. And then when you get up, they'll respect you. It's a fact.
Smart.
You just got to have the balls to do it. I'd love to be.
Guys,
I'd love to be the one to do it. Oh my God, I'd love to do that. Nothing makes me happier than making the people do what I want, not what they want, but what I want. Mm-hmm. You came to see me, therefore leave me alone. Let me do my shit. And don't try to take the show over. You're not in the fucking ring. You're not being paid to take the show over. You're being paid to enjoy it. Do your part, monkey.
Well, I hope that some modern day wrestlers, like I said, are listening to this, because look, you are not going to get valuable insight like this on any other podcast. I've never heard anybody with that perspective on, most of the time I hear people on podcasts address it, and they say something to the effect of like, well, they paid their ticket, so they're welcome to do what they want to do. And it's like, you can actually turn this thing around.
Oh, hell yeah, you can. Hell yeah, you can.
Incredible. Also incredible, Lance is beating the shit out of everybody on the way to Double or Nothing. He's picking up wins over the likes of Marco Stunt, Allin Ingalls, Colt Cabana. Jake, your buddy Cornette was very vocal in his dislike of Marco Stunt and performance selling for him despite his lack of size. What did you think of Marco?
I thought he did what he could do. Lance wasn't going to let him do a whole lot.
He would not.
He guzzled him pretty good. I would have hated to have been Marco and be tossed around like that, but holy shit, man. Talking about airtime, he had some serious airtime.
It's like falling off a balcony getting beeled by Lance Archer. My God.
He's falling for 7 to 8 feet down, up, just being tossed.
Well, and look, it's getting guzzled is exactly what should have happened there, especially if you're trying to build a monster. The whole thing worked. Jake, we talked about tournaments in wrestling in our WrestleMania 4 episode, and we both agree that they tend to be pretty dull. In your opinion, that's how they're introducing the TNT title here. Do you feel that there could have been a better way, or is it just kind of necessity?
It's just kind of necessity, man. People, who do you pick to put out there if you're not going to have a tournament? It's not fair. It's not what the people want to see. You're going to have a lot of people that are unhappy if their guy is not chosen. So you put them in a tournament, at least they get to see their guy once, and you keep on moving. So it's just one of those things that necessity calls for.
I think you're exactly right. On the May 6th TV, things got pretty interesting, Jake, as Brandi Rhodes did a tape promo on you and said that it's not 1991 and told you that if you slapped her, she'd hit you back and warned you to keep her name out of your dirty old mouth.
My dirty old mouth. I didn't realize that.
Your dirty old mouth. I love the reference to you slapping Liz here. I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yeah.
And look, you may have kept her name out of your dirty mouth, but that did not stop you from putting your dirty snake on her. So that's our first clip this week.
No.
Wait a minute.
Come on now.
Her husband Cody's here, but I'm sure he's either in the training room or in the shower.
No. What the hell?
Oh, my God. Look at that giant snake.
The snake that Jake Roberts used for many, many years.
He's had a variety of snakes. This is another one, but he's not doing this.
No. Oh, God.
That went away in the 90s.
This is his response to what Brandy said, I guess.
God. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, and Jake.
Oh, look at this.
Just getting in the face.
This is maniacal.
This is.
I don't want to see this.
Distasteful.
Oh,
my God. It's going underneath her body.
This is Jake Roberts, though. And this is what he has brought to AEW.
Can you imagine when Cody finally sees this? How he's going to react?
Oh, my God. It is just more fuel for the fire for the TNT Championship at Double or Nothing.
We're really spread out here at Daly's place, and the locker rooms are over by the stadium.
Well, yeah, you've got to take a golf cart,
yeah,
to get there.
And Lance Archer and Jake Roberts,
Oh, my God,
just taking pleasure in this frankly sickening display.
The symbolism of this is so distasteful and so disrespectful to Brandy and her entire family. My God. Oh.
Well, I hope it's over.
Yeah, let's get ourselves back together here, folks.
Jeez.
We'll be right back. My God, what's going to
happen? Jake, that was tremendous. JR selling it perfectly. The symbolism.
Oh, yeah. The symbolism. I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, I don't know what kind of symbolism he's referring to.
Yeah. He's the old bastard.
Jake, I mean, the fans went crazy. You know, it's you're back out here with your snake, but then that was it. No more snake.
Nope.
You mentioned it before. I think it bears repeating. Did you say that AEW is considering some kind of an alternative for the snake?
Oh yeah, they joked about getting a mechanical one.
Mechanical snake.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Hope it's got a button for bite.
I mean, I don't think I want to see a mechanical snake malfunction. That seems like it could be a shit show. Why do away with the live snake? What became of that? Do you know?
Problems with TNT, man. They didn't want it.
Yeah.
Did not want it. One and only time. Plus, it was so small.
Yeah, I mean,
snake, man. I'm really disappointed with that. Yeah, I think they were just being careful with TV. You know, we got to remember they hadn't been on TNT that long. They didn't want, try their luck with firing something out there that they knew that they'd be unhappy with. TV's what it's all about, brother. If you're not on there, you're gone.
That's it too. And I guess you can't be too careful when it comes to live animals on TV, and you're starting to walk in some pretty sticky territory nowadays.
Yeah, today you can't do these things, damn it. No fun for the snake, man. Bullshit. I'll have my fun.
Well, I'm hoping mechanical snake is still in the future.
That'd be fascinating. Awesome.
Well, so Jake Brandi, like her husband, of course, has moved on from AEW since then.
Yeah.
What did you think of working with her? A lot of interaction?
Some. I found her very pleasant. Very happy to work with her, and I think she was very happy to work with me. I had no problems at all. She listened, and the things that she said made sense. That's what really surprised me. That the things she came up with actually made some sense. So that's great. You know, I guess there've been some people that had a hard time with her, but not me. A lot of jealousy. There was a lot of jealousy with her, you know. A lot of jealousy. That's a damn shame.
Yeah, you know, I think it's you're all supposed to be rowing in the same direction, in a manner of speaking. So it's like, come on, let's work together here.
That's the dream.
Well, Jake, you leaned all the way into the evil role here because the next week you come out with some strong words before being interrupted by Cody. That's our second clip this week, and let me tell you, your opening line here cracks me up.
I've been asked to make an apology for my last week's antics. As soon as she kisses my ass, I'll give her an apology.
Yeah. Always classy.
Anytime you come inside this area here, this is no man's land for any of you jerks. This is our area, our playhouse, our book. We are the authors of that book, and we're writing every friggin' chapter. Like it or not, that's just the way it is. So know this. Know this. You know, as far as I'm concerned, a woman is great at home. Cooking, wiping babies' butts, diapering them, and occasionally, if it's very cold outside, she can keep me warm. I have a woman that comes and sees me, but she makes sure that I've been watching Lance's work because it makes me very excited. Now,
he's not changed.
Cody Rhodes, the time is about up. No longer can you hide behind your brother, behind any obstacle that you can find. No more excuses. It's time to pay the piper. So, what you got to think about is what this man is going to do to you.
What's going on here?
What the hell is that? Lance Archer.
Cody.
Oh no! He brought some toys this week.
He brought his Ford
Well, if you're
F-150.
gonna run that boat, what the hell are you
He's coming in here.
Oh!
What the hell, man?
Cody bursted into Daly's place, and he's got his fist taped up. Cody's ready to fight.
Cody means business.
If
And
you're
back
gonna
out,
go,
why wouldn't he?
Lance, finish him off.
Here are the two guys that are going to battle for the TNT Championship, but they're going to battle now.
Right here on the outside, surrounded by steel and concrete, a blatant low blow, and a 40-yard punt.
Cody peppering Lance Archer with those close fist shots.
Here comes Cody's got his eyes on Jake Roberts, and why wouldn't he?
Well, I get it, but oh my God!
Oh,
Should have kept his eyes
that
on
was a shot put, wasn't it?
on Lance Archer.
Yeah, welcome to our world. You're inside here. You're free meat.
Can you blame him after what happened last week to Brandy?
Not at all. Cody obviously
Look at
incensed.
those right hands, rights and lefts. Big time punches, strikes right to the head of Lance Archer. And Archer is reeling for one of the first times since he's been here. Well, how quick was that reel?
Boy, he bounced back.
Oh, Cody dodging the chokeslam on Archer, swept out the leg.
Oh. Cody went boom.
One of these two men will be the first TNT champion. Saturday, May 23rd, Saturday night on pay-per-view.
Cody was trying to choke the life out of Archer
No.
with his own murder hawk.
Cody wants some snake.
Oh!
Archer just throws out, chair shot off.
Oh!
Big kick to the face.
Beat
Down
his
goes
ass.
Cody.
Punk him.
Neither one of these men will just stay down. They
This
keep
is
coming
our
back
world.
on each.
And you're just a squirrel
Not the
trying to
blackout.
get a nut.
He got out of it.
Cody escapes. Archer going for the EBD claw.
And Cody blocking it with all he's got.
Cody coming off.
Goes for a cutter. Blocked by Archer.
Just too big a man. He threw him right off from that cutter.
Cody and Archer.
Oh, look at Jake is imploring
Right now.
Archer to leave. All the eyes of both men full of hatred, full of animosity.
It's going to be more than just a championship match. I think it's very apparent.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Tony. This is about so much more than crowning the first ever TNT champion. This is personal.
Jake Roberts retrieving Archer, who wanted to stay and fight, but the boss of the duo, Jake the Snake, getting Archer out of there and said, not now.
That was it. Oh, man. Awesome promo. Cool seeing Cody kind of tease coming after you, like he was going to get his hands on you and you might have to defend yourself. It was pretty cool. So, I know you'll never do a last match, Jake, but at this time in 2020, was it even a thought in your mind at all?
Oh, sure it was, man. I dream of that. Are you kidding? I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes dreaming that I'm back in the ring having a match. God, what a glorious feeling it is when I do that. It really is. I had one the other night. I DDT'd somebody, man, and I woke up just after I was DDT'd him. And I just woke up and I was breathing hard, like I was there, man. It was pretty crazy. The wives told me that sometimes in the night I'll start mumbling and then I'll swing my arms and stuff in the middle of the night. She says she has to be careful where she goes. I don't know. I can't remember when I wake up, but I guess I'm still, old wrestlers never die. They just kind of fade away, And of course, I'd love to get back out there in one more match. I still think I've got one DDT left in me, and somebody's going to get that before long.
Man, I'm looking forward to the day, and I know fans are too. I see the questions online all the time. I want Jake to DDT this person or that person.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Man, it's going to be a hell of a day, and let me tell you, that footage is going to go absolutely viral on the internet.
Yeah,
so
no shit.
Excited to see it.
Yes, sir.
At this stage, were you aware of what the finish was at Double or Nothing?
I had a pretty good idea. I know the build-up and everything was there for a reason, and it was to get Lance ready. And that's what the job was, whenever he knew that coming in. So there was no surprises there.
Well, I want to ask too, prior to this, Cody had lost a match with the stipulation being that he could no longer compete for the AEW world title. So, of course they're going to give him the TNT title here. But he's this incredibly marketable baby face. He's kind of the perfect flag bearer for a company. In hindsight, do you think you think it was a mistake for him to limit himself like that?
Sure it was. It was stupid.
I struggle with the mentality behind it. Like, why even make that a thing? It's just weird.
Well, they make it a thing thinking the fans will forget it sooner or later, or there'll be a stipulation put in there. Somebody will say, okay, drop that. He can have the belt. If he can beat me, he can have the belt. You know how that shit goes, man.
Yeah. I guess
there's always the fans would be out. There's always a way out, man. That's the reason they make rules and shit. Bones and rules were made to break.
Well, we discussed Brandy earlier, and you've told us in the past what you think of Cody as a performer. But how about behind the scenes, Jake? What was your relationship with him like?
He's a gentleman and a businessman. Straight up.
Well, well said. He's elevated himself, and I mean, a businessman to be sure. Left the WWE and actually prospered. Man.
Yep.
Gotta give him credit.
Something to be said about that.
And then returns to the company after trying to create competition, and now he's on top there. Remarkable.
Now he's on top there. So that kind of shows you what the rest of the world thinks about him too. They believe that he's top dollar talent and top dollar box office, and he is, no doubt about it. My God, he's got the heritage behind him. He's got all the breeding done. It was done for him. So just ride it, man. That's. I wish the best for him. I really do. I hope he goes all the way. I hope he becomes a champion and holds the title for a long period of time. You know, it's just a question of what the folks up there want.
Yeah, everybody's been trying to figure that out since WrestleMania, what exactly it is they're searching for. I guess we'll sort that out down the road. Well, Jake, we've got another big star that's set to come to AEW for Double or Nothing, but he's not from the world of wrestling. Here's from the Observer. AEW's Double or Nothing key matches for 5/23 in Jacksonville have been announced, with the biggest news being the involvement of Mike Tyson, who will present the TNT Championship belt to the winner of the Cody versus Lance Archer tournament final. Tyson, to this day, is still a huge star, and he's credited with helping to turn the tides during the Monday Night Wars when he appeared for Vince in '98. What did you think about Tyson's inclusion here?
Oh, I love Tyson, man. We get along great. We're good friends. Each time that we're in the same area, we always hook up and have some words. And I just love the cat, man, that he's still out here doing his thing, man. And, he beat all odds. He beat all odds, man. And he left a mark in history for damn sure. Still marketable.
Awesome guy. His knockout highlights are still some of the most watched stuff on YouTube to this day.
Hell yeah, they are.
Just an absolute monster in his heyday. Fun to watch. So, had you met Tyson ever before this?
Oh yeah. We've hooked up lots of times, man. Lots of times.
It's cool, man. Cool seeing you there. And on the next episode, you'd have a famous confrontation with Arn Anderson. But before we discuss it, I do want to talk about this from the May 25th Observer, because I thought it was fascinating. On television, they were strongly pushing the idea that Tyson was going to deck somebody. Roberts cut a promo on it. This actually reminded me of something nearly 35 years ago when Mid-South Wrestling brought Muhammad Ali to the Superdome as a manager for the Snowman, and post-match included Ali decking Roberts. Ali threw the punch, and Roberts didn't go down, with Roberts complaining that he had to stay and work while Ali wasn't coming back. So, of course, Jake, you and I talked about that on the 4th episode of this podcast, which is available now in the archives. But, Jake, it's two of the biggest names in the history of boxing, and you're bumping up against both of them. Who would you say you were more starstruck by?
Ali.
How could you not be?
Ali, man. He I was growing up when he was going through hell, going to jail and everything else, man. And it's amazing what he did. It boggles the mind, man. He lost probably the best years of his life. Mm-hmm. Certainly for boxing anyway. And still came back and did it. So what can you say about Ali except he's the best ever? Still is. That's it too, man. And it's just, man, so cool to see, 35 some odd years later, here you are with another guy who's considered right up an icon in his own right, Mike Tyson. Yeah. Just wild. So we talked about you not wanting to sell Ali's punches in '85, and it was perfectly justifiable. What would you have told Lance here if the plan was for him to get punched by Tyson? Don't go down, big man. Don't go down. That was the answer I was hoping for. Something that would change and shouldn't. Yeah, sell it, but don't go down. You can sell it without. I sold Ali shit without going down. Yeah, like you were waving your arms and shit. He was popping me. What was funny was seeing your tag team partner John Nord. He took a bump immediately, but he flew like a bird. 300-pound man, not the snake. Just amazing. All right, guys, time to take another quick minute to talk about one of our great sponsors. This is a product that I use all the time. I brag about it here on the show, and I'm bragging to all the folks that ask me why I'm smelling so good recently. Of course, I'm talking about Mando. It is football season. It's time for tailgates and touchdowns and Sunday cookouts with the crew. I'm always going to be bringing a case of beer or like a pack of hot dogs or something to the tailgate, but I'm also bringing Mando. If you're like me, you're not just at the tailgate sitting on your hands or having a drink. Nope.
You're drinking, you're eating some good food, but you're also out there slinging the pigskin, having fun with your buddies, and you're getting sweaty. And that's when it's important for you to have something reliable to help you get rid of that BO. That's why Mando's the MVP. Clinically proven 72-hour odor control, so it's perfect for long days at the game or at the bar. By the way, if you've got sensitive skin, don't worry about it, bud. It's safe for the whole body. Pits, packages, feet, and everywhere in between. Yes, even those tailgate sprints to the restroom. Stop odor before it starts, and why don't you do it with a little variation? It's available in 3 formats: invisible spray, solid stick, and invisible cream, and it comes in 4 cologne quality scents. Guys, when I say that these smell good and I get complimented on them, you know that's no BS. It is incredible how often people come up to me and tell me how good I smell. My buddies are talking about it. Whenever I'm wrestling, people ask me about it. It's all because of Mando. They've got the bourbon leather smell, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. Guys, if you want that fresh, just out of the shower smell, no matter the circumstance, Mando has got you covered. You guys have heard me talk about that acidified body wash and that bourbon leather smell, which is still amazing, still something I use all the time. But when I'm on the go, there is one place I turn, and that's to these. Those are the Mando deodorant wipes. I'll keep them in my gear bag whenever I'm wrestling, or, you know, if I'm just going to an event, or if I've got to catch a plane or go on some kind of a trip, I'm always bringing that stuff with me because, you know, we've all been there. You're sitting in the car, catch a whiff of something, you're like, boy, what is that? Then you find out that it's you. These wipes are the perfect solution for your random body odor that's going to come up out of nowhere. What I really like about it is that it's powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but it's general enough, as we said, to use absolutely anywhere, allowing you to put it wherever it's needed on your body. It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. What's not to like about this product? It is clinically proven to control body odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after the shower, the average man's grundle odor level was a 5 out of 10. With Mando, we're taking those numbers down. The average grundle odor is a 0 out of 10. If you're new to Mando, you've got to try the starter pack. It's perfect for new customers or to secure some last-minute stocking stuffers. It comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. Got to recommend that you guys try that mini body wash, the acidified body wash that I always brag on, and those deodorant wipes. Let me tell you, those are so convenient and so refreshing. And by the way, when you get the starter pack, you get free shipping. Also, I'm going to help you save $5 on this. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code SNAKE, SNAKE, at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them that we sent you with that code SNAKE. Save 40% on the starter pack and find out why I love Mando so much. Don't let BO keep you on the bench. Smell better naked with Mando. Next up, we have a fantastic segment between a pair of legends who are often compared and didn't cross paths very often in their careers. Of course, I'm talking about yourself and Arn Anderson. It's our final clip this week.
You want to say that again?
6, 8 feet separate us right now. Anytime, any place, just like Lance Archer.
Much as I would love to, decorum. Part of the things that I want to cover out here tonight, Jake, is one, Iron Mike Tyson is coming out of retirement and he has talked to Tony Khan. He's going to present the champion, whether it's your monster or it's Cody, okay? He's going to present that title, but word is, which I get through the grapevine, is he's also going to get free reign. He can wander around out here on the floor, sit in the stands, go up in the ceiling. He can helicopter it. He can do anything he wants. And Jake, I'm honored to share the floor with Iron Mike Tyson. The question I have to ask you, are you going to throw that stupid snake on him? How's that going to turn out for you, my friend?
Whatever I throw at Mike Tyson will take him down. I promised Lance Archer that he gets first shot at Tyson because he just wants to knock him out for fun. And I'll tell you something, you can do it. Myself, I was kind of hoping that bimbo Brandy would have to present the belt. I mean, I'd love to bump into her again.
One other little tidbit I should probably let you know, Jake, since the snake's out of the bag, no pun intended. Cody Rhodes looked me in the eye and he said, Art, I don't want to win this championship, the TNT championship, because I can get a nice table at a restaurant, I get a pay raise, I get the admiration of the fans. He said, I've got to do it because I have to win this. I have to. Don't interrupt. Because he's not just Dusty Rhodes' son. He's not just Dustin Rhodes' brother. He's one of the leaders of this company that have turned this business on its head in a year's time and made it the product that it is. That's why he has to be the champion, because he's got to know in here his leadership is being recognized because he earned it. Now, I know you're sitting there getting a little nervous after you threaten me, because you know something? I'm a vicious prick. Only reason I don't cover the distance of this table right now is because I have one more little bit of information. There's some good news, Jake. Everybody out there know that Jake is doing DDP yoga? Good. I want you to be real limber when I spine buster your ass and shove your head where the sun don't shine.
Oh no. Here we go. Oh. Jake got his hands on Tony.
And the AEW referee corps coming to keep these two legends separated, but
Jake, 2 weeks in a row, teasing physicality, man. That was something else.
Yeah, man, it was good. It's done really well. It was fun talking with Arn out there, man, battering back and forth.
It was cool, man. Both of you guys are at the top of your game. Arn is kind of getting the babyface reaction from the crowd.
Oh,
You
yeah.
were just straight up evil. You got to bring Brandy into it, and it was tremendous. Do you recall if you and Arn spoke about it beforehand at all?
No, we didn't talk.
Call it in the ring.
We just went out there and did it, brother.
That's cool as hell. Now, are you being fed any like notes here, or is it just completely off the cuff?
Off the cuff, brother.
Man, you gotta love that about Tony Khan, especially with, I hear that Vince is scripting absolutely everything, and Tony Khan is trusting you. He's letting you just go out there and do your thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he trusts me. I'm going to do a damn good job of it too.
You sure as hell did. Now, we know that eventually you'd hit a short arm clothesline here in AEW. Arn recently hit the DDT, as we've discussed. You are likely to hit a DDT down the road. Was there any talk at this point of having you get physical? I mean, we've teased it a couple times here.
We've just teased it a couple times. There'll be a time. It's coming.
Well, I can't wait. Well, I don't think that we'll get a shot to discuss this again, so I just want to do it right now. Your old pal Tully Blanchard is here in AEW as well, and in 2021, he's in a 6-man tag team match with FTR against Jurassic Express. What did you think about Tully stepping back into the ring?
Oh, I loved it, man. I'm glad he can still do it.
It was fun. From a fan's perspective, it was cool getting to see him do it, and he's still hitting that slingshot, suplex, and shit. Just incredible stuff. Jake, we're here. So the reason for today's episode, Double or Nothing 2020 and the match to crown the first ever TNT champion. So Jake, Cody and Lance meet in the fourth match of the night, and it really had the feel of a Rocky movie to me. Lance is this kind of unstoppable force. Cody is the underdog baby face. The whole thing just kind of worked. We get moments where Lance does the spine buster in front of Arn. Cody does the DDT in front of you. And then here's what Meltzer had to say about how the match finished up. Archer did a rope walk until Anderson swept his leg. Cody used the Ultimo Guerrero special for a near fall. Ref Paul Turner came out and said that Anderson interfered. Tyson confirmed it, so Anderson and Roberts were both kicked out. Archer used a German suplex, but Roberts came back with a bag that supposedly had a snake in it. Tyson blocked him. Archer went for the blackout again, but Cody got out of it and hit 2 crossroads for the pin, 3 3/4 stars. That's a good star rating for the match. How did you feel the whole thing came off, man?
I think it came off pretty damn good, man. they teased him with some stuff, and that was fun. And, having Tyson out there, me coming back with the bag, that was great. Just a lot of teasing, man, a lot of up and down, back and forth.
And that's kind of the mark of a good match. I know that some people were like wondering, hey, Lance Archer's brand new here to this territory. You build him up. Is this going to stifle him? What did you think? Did it stifle Lance at all?
No, it doesn't stifle Lance. You can't stifle pure talent like that. That's like, back in the day whenever I was going out and making people look good, it didn't stifle me. People still knew what I was, and they knew what I could deliver. And I did it every time I got on the mic, and I did it every time I got in the ring. So it's not hurting Lance to do favors for people, man. Not at all.
I'm hoping everybody's listening to this, talents, everybody who has an issue with people taking losses on TV, because it's true. As I've been doing a lot of the research for our shows, I'm looking through and seeing what's happening with you on house shows. And like 89, it's like Jake lost. Next show, Jake lost. Jake lost. And it's like you keep losing to people, but then you're on 1989, you were red hot.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
It doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter. As long as you go out and you produce and you give those people the ride they liked, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Because they've gotten every button pushed, and the curtain was jerked, and that closed at the end, and everybody was happy, and they went home happy. Lots of times I'd lose a match, but I always dump the snake on the guy just to get a little bit back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even need that, man, because the people knew about watching me and listening to me that I would do. I could do anything, and I did. Wins and losses meant nothing to me.
I've heard Jim Duggan say a similar thing where he said, like, I would go out there and lose, but then as long as by the end of the match I was holding up my 2x4 and giving the thumbs up, like nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Absolutely. Because they trust what you're doing. They believe in what you do.
And that's, you and I have talked about it before. It's kind of the mark of an insecure performer. If you can't take a loss, then maybe you're not as good as you think you are.
You're not.
Well, following the angle, were you thinking that the rivalry was going to continue between Lance and Cody, or did you know that was the end of it?
I knew that'd be the end of it. That, they were going to keep Cody moving in a different direction, and Lance would be put back on the burner and let it simmer for a while.
Well, I'm excited to see what the future holds, Jake. We've got a couple quick fan questions, and then we'll call it a day on this one. Peter D asks, "Hi, Jake. Can you talk about your role in the match in that you need to be seen, but not seen so much that it takes away from guys in the ring?" We kind of touched on that a little bit.
Yeah,
how do you, you're a charismatic guy, and how do you kind of dial it back?
You just stop moving. Stop moving. Get to a place and stay. Don't be jumping up and down, threatening to get in the ring, reaching inside the ring. Don't do any of that stuff. Just go someplace and get small.
It's good and it's smart, and it's you've already done your job as a manager, right? You've gotten him over, you've hyped him up to this point. Like, you don't necessarily need to be doing things during the match.
No, absolutely not. That will distract.
Last question. Instagram, a wrestling historian asks, what is Lance Archer missing from becoming the AEW World Champion? What do you think could take him to the next level, Jake?
I don't know. I don't know why they haven't jumped on that pony and they let him run. It's just what they've got in mind, man. He's certainly capable of doing anything and everything, no doubt about that. So I don't know. I don't know if they will. I don't know. It's not my place to say.
Well, he's well positioned, as you said. Great look, great talent, and he's got a great mentor in yourself. So I'm looking for a bright future for Lance Archer, and I think it's coming.